Gramina Ayurvedic Medical College, Terdal, Karnataka. Department of Rachana Sharira presents Anatomy of Stomach Part 2. Myself, Dr. Shrikant Vislawat, Assistant Professor, Department of Rachana Sharira. Relations of the stomach. Peritoneal relations. The stomach is covered by peritoneum except at its curvatures where the blood vessels passing, and a small area lies posteriorly near the cardiac orifice. This area is called bare area of stomach where the peritoneum is not covering. The bare area of stomach is directly related to the left crus of the diaphragm. The peritoneum present here forms the folds, which are extending from the lesser and greater curvature of the stomach to the other structures. These are lesser omentum, greater omentum, gastrosplenic ligament and gastrophrenic ligaments. Number 1. Lesser omentum. It extends from the lesser curvature of the stomach to the liver. The greater omentum, which is a fold of peritoneum, it extends from the lower 2/3 of the greater curvature to the transverse colon. The gastrosplenic ligament is a peritoneal fold extends from the upper 1/3 of the greater curvature to the spleen near the hilum of the spleen. The gastrophrenic ligament, it is extend from the uppermost part of the fundus to the diaphragm. These are the peritoneal relations of the stomach. Now we will see the visceral relations. The relations of the anterior or anterior-superior surface of the stomach. Here on the right side, this surface is related to the gastric impression of the left lobe of liver, and near the pylorus this surface is related with the quadrate lobe of the liver. The left half of the anterior superior surface is related to the diaphragm and rib cage. The lower part of this surface is related to the anterior abdominal wall. Next, visceral relation related with the posterior or posterior inferior surface of the stomach. Here this surface is related to a number of structures on the posterior abdominal wall, which collectively forms the stomach bed. These structures are diaphragm, left kidney, left suprarenal gland, pancreas, transverse mesocolon, left colic flexure, that is splenic flexure of the colon, then splenic artery and spleen. All these structures forming the stomach bed are separated from the stomach by the lesser sac except at a spleen, which is separated from the stomach by the greater sac of the peritoneum. Now we will see the interior of the stomach. When the stomach is cut open, the interior of the stomach presents few features. These are gastric fold, also called as gastric rugae. The mucosa of an empty stomach is thrown into numerous folds called gastric rugae. These rugae are longitudinal along the lesser curvature and irregular remaining part of the stomach. The rugae are flattened when the stomach is distended. Next feature is gastric pits. These are small depressions on the mucosal surface in which the gastric glands are opens. Gastric canal. It is a feature of interior of the stomach. The gastric canal is a longitudinal furrow that forms temporarily during the swallowing between the longitudinal folds of the mucosa along the lesser curvature. The gastric canal forms due to the firm attachment of the gastric mucosa to the underlying muscular layer. The importance of this gastric canal is it allows a rapid passage of swallowed liquids along the lesser curvature to the lower part before it spreads to the other parts of the stomach. This is the region where the lesser curvature is subject to maximum insult of the swallowed spicy food and irritable drinks. Now we will see the microscopic structure of the stomach. Anatomically, the stomach is divided into four parts: cardia, fundus, body and pylorus. However, histologically the stomach is divided into three parts: cardia, body and pylorus, because fundus and body shares the common histological features. Cardiac and mucous membrane. The epithelium lining this mucous membrane is simple columnar with small tubular glands. The lower half of the gland is secretory and upper half of is conducting part. Muscularis mucosae consist of smooth muscle fibers. Submucosa of cardiac end consist loose connective tissue with Meissner's plexus. The muscularis externa at this cardiac end is made out of outer longitudinal and inner circular layers, including the mesenteric plexus of Naus. The serosa of cardiac end is lined by single layer of squamous cells. Fundus and body of stomach histological features. Mucous membrane contains tall, simple tubular gastric glands. The upper 1/3 is conducting part, while lower 2/3 is secretory part. The various cell types seen in this gland are chief or gymnogenic cells, oxyntic or parietal cells, and mucous neck cells. The muscularis mucosa and submucosa are same as in the cardiac end. The muscularis externa of this body and fundus contains an additional innermost oblique coat of the muscle fibers. The serosa of fundus and body of the stomach is lined by the single layer of squamous cells. Pyloric part of the stomach. The mucous membrane is lined by the simple columnar epithelium. The glands present in this part are called pyloric glands. It consists of basal 1/3 as mucous secretory component and upper 2/3 as conducting part. The muscularis mucosa of pyloric part is made up of two layers of the fibers. The submucosa is same as in the cardiac end. The muscularis externa of the pyloric part is comprised with the longitudinal muscle coat and thick circular muscle fibers. Close to the pyloric end, the longitudinal muscle coat separates into superficial and deep fibers. The deep fibers turns inward at the pylorus and join with the circular muscle coat to help in the formation of the pyloric sphincter. The circular muscle coat thickens at the pylorus to form a ring of muscle called pyloric sphincter. The major sphincteric component of the pyloric sphincter is derived from the circular muscle coat, and minor part, that is minor dilated component, is derived from the longitudinal muscle coat. The submucosa present at this part consists of loose areolar tissue. Arterial supply of the stomach. The stomach has rich arterial supply derived from the celiac trunk and its branches. The arteries supplying the stomach are left gastric artery, a direct branch from the celiac trunk; right gastric artery, a branch of the common hepatic artery; left gastroepiploic artery, a branch of the splenic artery; and right gastroepiploic artery, which is a branch of the gastroduodenal artery, and some short gastric artery branches from the splenic artery. Venous drainage of stomach. The veins of the stomach correspond to the arteries and drain directly or indirectly into the portal vein. The veins of the stomach are left gastric vein, right gastric vein, left gastroepiploic vein, right gastroepiploic vein, and short gastric veins. Here, the left and right gastric veins drain directly into the portal vein. The left gastroepiploic and short gastric veins drain into the splenic vein, and the gastroepiploic, the right one, drain into the superior mesenteric vein. Lymphatic drainage of the stomach. The knowledge of lymphatic drainage of the stomach is clinically very important because gastric cancer spreads through the lymphatic vessels. For the descriptive purpose, the stomach is divided into 4 lymphatic territories as follows. First, it divides the stomach into 2, right 2/3 and left 1/3 by a line along its long axis. Now divide the right 2/3 into upper 2/3, that is area 1, and lower 1/3, that is area 4, and left 1/3 into upper 1/3, that is area 3, and lower 2/3, that is area 2. In this way, 4 lymphatic territories are marked and numbered 1 to 4. Now see the mode of the lymphatic drainage from these 4 lymphatic territories into different group of lymph nodes as follows. Area 1 is the largest area along the lesser curvature. The lymph from this area is drained into the left gastric lymph nodes. And area 2 includes pyloric antrum and pyloric canal along the greater curvature of the stomach. Here the lymph from this area drain into right gastroepiploic lymph nodes and pyloric lymph nodes. The area 3 is also called as pancreatico-splenic area. Here the lymph drains into pancreatico-splenic nodes along the splenic artery. The area 4 includes pyloric antrum and pyloric canal along the lesser curvature of the stomach. The lymph from this area is drained into right gastric nodes and hepatic nodes along the hepatic artery. Note that lymph from all the areas of the stomach ultimately reaches the celiac nodes. From here it passes through the interstitial lymph trunk to reach the cisterna chyle. Nerve supply of the stomach. The stomach has both sympathetic and parasympathetic innervations. Sympathetic innervation. The sympathetic fibers are derived from 6th thoracic vertebrae or thoracic spinal segment to 10th thoracic spinal segment via greater splanchnic nerves and celiac and hepatic plexus. They reach the stomach by running along its arteries. The sympathetic innervation to the stomach has functions vasomotor, motor to the pyloric sphincter, and inhibitory to the remaining gastric musculature, and it also serves as chief pathway for pain sensation from the stomach. Parasympathetic innervation of the stomach. The parasympathetic fibers are derived directly from the vagus nerves. Clinical anatomy of stomach. Gastrostomy. It is performed in the gastric triangle. The gastric triangle, it is a triangular area of stomach in contact with the anterior abdominal wall. It is bounded on the left side by the left costal margin, on the right side by the lower border of the liver, and inferiorly by the transverse colon. In complete esophageal obstruction, gastrostomy is performed in this area to feed the patient. Gastric carcinoma. It is commonly occurs in the region of the pyloric antrum along the greater curvature of the stomach. The gastric cancer spreads by the lymph vessels to the left supraclavicular lymph node. The enlarged and palpable left supraclavicular node may be the first sign of gastric cancer. The sign is called Trollser's sign. Vagotomy. It is a surgical procedure of cutting the vagus nerve. It is done to cure the chronic duodenal ulcers. Gastric pain. It is usually referred to the epigastric region because the stomach is supplied by the T6 to T10 spinal sphincter. Gastric ulcer. It occurs typically along the lesser curvature, and this is possible due to the H. pylori infection, which is most important causative factor for the gastric ulcer, and abundant nerve supply, thin epithelium, and it contains the gastric canal which receives most of the irritating drinks directly on it, and the mucosa which is not freely movable over the muscular core. Gastric ulcers are common in people who are always in hurry and mostly worry about incidents and eats spicy food. This ulcer is notoriously resistant to healing and persists for years together. To promote healing, HCL can be minimized by antacids, partial gastrectomy or vagotomy. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe Gramina Ayurvedic Medical College Tirtha YouTube channel. Thank you.